everyone. Happy September.
Oh my gosh, yes, September. What is it, the 7th? It is the 7th. We're already in the 7th day of September.
Weekend.
Kids are back to school already. First day of school is already done.
Well, no, some kids went back today.
Oh, high school kids, yeah.
I don't know why this is like why isn't it just all the same?
I don't know.
Like different schools or different regions do different times. It's so confusing for parents. Like they're probably like, get them out. We're done. Like Labor Day Monday, yes, last day of the kids. And then Tuesday, let's get going. Go to school. And then if you have parents that are like, no, they're going, Wednesday, Thursday. It's like, why Wednesday, Thursday? What's that? Like, what is that going to do?
Such a short week.
Exactly. Just put them back.
It's like come in, see your friends.
Say hi.
Get acquainted with your new classes.
Yeah, say hi to your teacher or whatever.
And then get ready for the real first week.
Really, actually, that's how high school is. Do you remember high school?
Yeah.
First week. It's like,
how could
it's
I forget?
such BS, really.
The longest 10 years of my life.
It's like, what?
It's the longest 10 years of my life. I'm joking.
High school, I was going to say, like, what? Wait, 10 years? Okay, so that makes you, like, 50.
Well, that's what people say when it's like they were in high school for so long because they couldn't.
I understand, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I hope not, because we'll have no clients if they feel like you were 10 years in high school. But I remember, like, the first week was always orientation and finding your homeroom. Remember, you had your homeroom.
Yeah. Your locker.
And then my sister was telling me that was the week also you could have switched your classes if they offered the same class but at a different time. That was the time you were able to switch it. Where was I? Mm-hmm. I never knew that. I just took whatever they gave me. And
I always got excited to get my new locker. Where my locker was, I was like, oh, where's my locker this year?
And there was always like those prime areas where you wanted to be.
Right, and I never got it.
And you never got it.
Like back in the back of school where nobody was ever.
Well, I don't know how they divide it, but like, I wonder if it's like the bad kids they want up in the front so they can watch.
Keep an eye on them.
So I was never there. I was kind of like in the corners. So obviously I was a good kid. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we are here. Happy September, everybody. We are summer. It's not officially over, but like the vacationing is over.
Yeah. Weather's cooler again.
Mornings are cooler. Evenings are cooler.
The rest of the week's gonna be nice.
Mm-hmm. Today's kind of cloudy.
Yeah. I was already in Milton today, dropping off marketing material for our new listing. If you guys want to check it out, 421 Scott Boulevard in Milton. It's a great 4-bedroom, 3-washroom home with 2,600 square feet. That went live on the market last night, and we've actually already gotten a few showings booked, so that's good news. And we're excited to see what happens. Oh, amazing.
It shows well.
I will be posting a video of it probably later on this week.
It's the one that we worked on last week with a little bit of the hiccups we had along the way. But I think overall it turned out very well. It shows well. It's clean. It's very well maintained.
Mm-hmm. What's not going well is this live. There's no one here.
It's okay.
Everyone's working.
That's what it is. When back, everybody's back.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have that coming up. We will be doing an open house this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
11 to 1.
Mm-hmm. There is, what's it called? It's located right next to the park. So I thought, maybe if you have kids, that's one way to bribe them. Oh, Matthew, come, let's go look at the house, and then we can go to the park.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't know.
And if you didn't hear, well, you'll hear it here. They again raised the interest rates. 0.75% increase in interest rates, bringing the prime rate to 3.25. That is the 5th rate that they've done this year.
And the funny thing is, they're talking about that. It's kind of not over.
And we didn't think it would be. So they're going to be making another announcement.
People were kind of, saying, maybe that's it. Maybe this will be the last one. Doesn't sound like it.
And so they're thinking they're going to be making another announcement sometime in October.
I think they said, I've heard October 26th, but maybe that can change.
Mm-hmm. So obviously this is going to be affecting all borrowing, not just housing, but borrowing costs in general.
Lines of credits, whatever money you need, kind of.
So we just finished doing the stats yesterday, and overall the market actually picked up a bit in August. Mm-hmm. There were more sales in August. There were more listings coming on the market. However, even though there were more sales and there were more listings coming on the market, the actual prices did still once again drop. But the absorption rate went up, which is a good thing.
I think we need to talk about what is absorption rate, because we talk about months of inventory, but we're also now looking at absorption rate.
Yeah, so for example, absorption rate of 50%, let's just say. With an absorption rate of 50%, if there's 10 houses available, just 10 houses on the market, with a 50% absorption rate, that means that out of those 10 houses, the current absorption rate of 50%, only 5 of those homes will sell. So that's what absorption rate essentially means. It's pretty much what the speed of the market is. So when we were in January, February, we're looking at absorption rates of over 100%, meaning there were way more sales happening than listings coming on that were currently on the market. And as things have been going, like last month, for instance, we were sitting at around 30 to 40% absorption rate GTA wide. And the absorption rate went up a little bit in August, which is a good thing for sellers because that means that buyers are scooping up houses, and obviously shows in the sales, but the prices are still down. I mean, the buyers are still getting deals. They want deals. They're still getting them. So we'll see how this interest rate is going to affect the market, and especially knowing that there's another one coming up.
Yeah, and we've noticed that with every interest rate hike, the absorption rate obviously has gone down, meaning homes are taking longer to sell. But it's interesting, exactly in August, knowing that this is coming up, things picked up a bit. Mm-hmm. But I think this is like one of the things we look at in terms of numbers when we are presenting, in a listing presentation and figuring out, okay, where do you want to, Mr. Seller, where do you want to end up? We always want to be ahead of everybody. Because with this interest rate, obviously, things are going to slow down again, or at least that's what we've been seeing as the pattern.
So essentially, if you don't price the house correctly right from the start, you're wasting time in the market. And by the time 3-4 weeks go by, well, the price that you could have gotten 4 weeks ago, you're no longer able to get. And because you weren't priced properly 3-4 weeks ago when you started on the market, well, that price is no longer available. And you're kind of always on the back foot. So we always try to explain that it's very important to be ahead of the market, not be reactionary of the market. These houses aren't selling and these houses had to do price reductions in order to sell. So, okay, now we have to do a price reduction in order to sell. You kind of want to be ahead of that game, or else essentially you'll just keep losing out.
And that's really the case here. I mean, you're always competing against somebody in the market. So if homes have been sitting already for a while, well, the only way they're going to move is probably by price change, which means if you don't sell before they make their price changes,
then you're going to
have to make that price change as well.
And that's why the absorption rate is really important for us, because looking at, let's just say for a case of a Milton house, well, the absorption rate right now for last week, when I just did the stats yesterday, absorption rate's around 60%. So that means if there's 10 homes available, only 6 of those homes are going to sell. You want to be one of those 6 homes to sell. If you're not one of those 6 homes to sell, then you're obviously on the market for a longer period of time, and you're most likely overpriced and not going to get the price that you want. So it just
and you have to also keep in mind, being ahead of the game is you have to anticipate more homes will come up on the market, mm-hmm. right? So the bigger amount of inventory, the more choices buyers have, and if you don't look good and you're not priced correctly, you will be left behind.
Yeah. Exactly. And, one thing that we're thinking about is that, like Martha touched upon, is that every time there was an interest rate hike, we saw sales decline, we saw prices go down, and that very well could be the case once again. Obviously, only time will tell. But there's still very high demand in the market for buyers that want to buy. So even though the interest rates might have gone up, yes, that could affect the prices going forward, but what will happen though is coming closer to Christmas time, especially, is people are not going to be putting their homes on the market. So if there's 15 buyers looking for a particular property and there's 10 or 12 homes available to those 15 buyers, okay, so obviously right now with that number scenario, supply is already higher than demand. Demand is higher than the supply. 15 buyers, only 10 or 12 homes available. What's going to happen in November when there's 15 buyers available, but now there's only 7 houses available for them to look at. That means that the supply is still high and the demand is still low. So even though interest rates are going to be going up, the demand is still very high and the supply is going to be low. So the prices might not be affected as much as people are anticipating.
Well, definitely not
later in the year.
Yeah, and I think we already went through the huge dip from, your January, February pricing to now. So yes, prices, can they still decrease? Sure. But we're not talking what we saw back in like April. So that's that.
Yeah, so that's that. And, like I said, I did the stats yesterday, and what I noticed, because I do the stats every month going on year over year. And what I noticed from May up until now was the year over year increase in home sale prices for the average prices. The year over year was getting smaller and smaller. So the price increase year over year was getting smaller. What I noticed yesterday when I did the stats was that a lot of categories of homes in different cities, the year over year average price was actually no longer an increase, but it was actually a decrease in average price. So, for instance, I think I saw in Burlington, detached home sales, the average price of a detached home in Burlington this year compared to last year at the same time was about $70,000 less. Oh. So that means that if you bought last year at this time in Burlington, let's say a detached home, most likely your home sale price has now gone down $70,000 less than what you bought it for last year. That doesn't mean that's not going to go back up. It will eventually go back up. But like I said, I've just noticed that pattern, the average price average price increase getting lower and lower. And now we're at a point where a lot of those markets are seeing decreases in average home sale prices in the year over year standpoint.
The other question, so just switching gears a bit. So I was actually out with clients in the morning doing some showings in Hamilton. And, we always get asked, do you think the inventory is going to pick up? Or is this kind of going to be the steady flow? And generally speaking, more homes come up on the market mid to end of September. Now that the kids are back in school, we find that about a week to 2 weeks it takes to get into that routine and rhythm. And that's when we start seeing homes start coming up on the market more. So those of you who are looking to purchase and are, maybe a little bit frustrated that there isn't much to look at, inventory is low, be patient. Statistically speaking, and in previous years, fall market brings on more homes. But with that, I feel like there also will bring up more buyers, because there could be buyers that are approved. And remember, your approval is good for 120 days. There could be buyers that sat on the fence the whole entire summer, really haven't done much, looking around, maybe on MLS, had a look, but not really actually physically going, seeing properties. And now they're like, you know what? Let's start going. So there's always buyers. They just might be a little bit in the background, silent buyers, as we call them.
Yeah. So our live today is not exactly the most exciting live, but we're here.
It's informative,
Informative. Lots of numbers today.
A lot of numbers. More numbers to come, because the stats are going to be coming out that you've done.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, like I said, we have that listing coming up. There's another one we will have eventually. We're kind of working out the details on that. A great penthouse.
Yeah, penthouse suite in Milton at a new condo, just not even a year built.
It's on Main Street, Main and Thompson.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or between Thompson and James Snow.
Yeah.
Kind of in between those two.
Yeah.
On Main Street.
Really nice place.
Beautiful amenities.
1,100 square feet. It's got a pet spa, outdoor pool,
a gym, a yoga studio.
This particular place has 2 parking spots. So that'll be sometime towards the end of the month. We're going to have that one coming on the market. So look out for that if you're looking for a condo in Milton.
Yeah, 2-bedroom plus a den, so it's actually spacious. Nice beautiful windows that kind of wrap around at a corner. So you have exposures, southwest exposures.
Southwest exposure.
So you really get beautiful views of the escarpment.
Yeah.
And maybe it works out. I'm actually kind of excited that hopefully it'll be end of the month because the escarpment will potentially start changing colors. So we can really capture that.
That'd be cool.
Sure. So yeah, so that's coming up. The house that we have currently, which we'll be doing an open house. And then, yeah, working with more buyers and hopefully lending them some nice homes.
That's right.
Anyway, that's all we had today. Nice and short, nice and sweet. We will see you guys next month, which will be October. And we'll see what the market will do then. Take care. Have a great week.